All right, let's talk about it. That moment. That one little moment that can be so incredibly nerve-wracking. Starting a conversation. We're going to crack the code on this, breaking down the art and, yes, the science of greetings and introductions. The goal? To turn that hesitation into a genuine, easy opportunity for connection.
I mean, you know that feeling, right? You're in a room full of people, maybe at a party, maybe at a work thing, and there's just this invisible wall of silence. Your brain just kicks into overdrive. Should I say something? What if it's weird? What if they just ignore me? It is a totally universal feeling, and today we are going to take it apart.
So, here's our game plan for getting past that silence. We'll start by tackling that awkward first step head on. Then we'll dive into why a greeting is way more than just a word. After that, I've got a super simple 3-step intro for you. We'll cover how to read the room, and finally, we'll put it all together to craft that perfect opening line.
Okay, let's jump right in with Section 1, the awkward first step. Look, the point here isn't to pretend that feeling doesn't exist, but to completely reframe it. We're going to turn that moment of hesitation into a real moment of connection.
Let's just get one thing straight, right off the bat. If you feel a little anxious before introducing yourself, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just human. Seriously, that fear of making a clumsy, awkward first impression? It's a shared experience. Everyone feels it. So let's just acknowledge it, and then let's move on.
And this right here, this is the core idea. It's a complete mindset shift. You have to stop seeing an introduction as this big hurdle you have to clear, or some kind of test you might fail. Instead, see it for what it really is. It's just an invitation, a simple, open invitation to connect with another person.
So, how does that mindset actually work in practice? Well, that brings us to Section 2. We're going to get practical with something I like to call the principle of the open door.
Think about your greeting as an action, not just a sound you make. You are, metaphorically, opening a door and inviting someone else in. With that one simple action, you're sending a bunch of signals. You're friendly, you're approachable, and you're actually open to having a conversation.
And you can feel the difference, can't you? A weak greeting, like a mumbled, hey, just kind of hangs there in the air. It's basically a closed door. It puts all the pressure on the other person to do the work. But a strong greeting, hi, I'm Sarah, it's great to meet you. That's an open door. It's warm, it shares a little info, and it immediately makes everyone feel more comfortable.
This leads us perfectly into Section 3. This is your practical, super easy to remember toolkit for actually building that connection, the 3-step introduction. The whole process is incredibly simple. Step 1, just state your name clearly. Step 2, add a little bit of context, and don't worry, we'll talk about what that means. And finally, Step 3, ask a question. See how each step just flows into the next? It's a smooth, natural on-ramp to a real conversation. Okay, so Step 2, adding context. This is the secret sauce. It's the bridge between a simple hello and an actual conversation. It gives the other person something to latch onto. It could be something as easy as, I know the host from college, or I'm here with the team that sponsored this event, or even, this is my first time coming to one of these meetups. It just grounds your introduction in the real world. And finally, Step 3, the question. This is the part that turns your introduction from a monologue into a dialogue. When you ask a question, you gracefully hand over the conversational baton. It shifts the focus off of you and signals that you're genuinely interested in them. Now, having the toolkit is one thing, but knowing how to use it is everything. And that brings us to Section 4, reading the room and adapting your approach. This is so important to remember. The 3-step method is not a rigid script that you have to recite like a robot. Please don't do that. The real goal is authentic connection, not perfection. Think of it as a flexible framework that you can tweak to fit your personality and whatever situation you find yourself in. For example, at a professional conference, right? Your greeting's going to be a bit more formal, you'll probably use your full name, and the context will be about your job. But at a casual party, it's way more relaxed. You'll just use first names, and your focus might be on shared friends. At a super formal event, you might be more respectful, using titles and talking about the occasion itself. See? It's the same framework, just different flavors.
Okay, let's bring this all home. In our final section, we're putting it all together to craft your opening line. As we wrap this up, if you remember one thing, let it be this. The goal is a confident connection, not a flawless performance. If you stumble a bit or forget a word, that is totally fine. In fact, it makes you more human. Authenticity is always going to be more compelling than perfection, every single time.
So let's recap your new toolkit. First, change your mindset. Greetings are opportunities, not obstacles. Second, use that simple 3-step introduction. Name, context, question. Third, always adapt that formula to the room you're in. And finally, maybe most importantly, lead with genuine curiosity about the other person.
So the next time you feel that little flicker of hesitation, just remember that a simple, warm introduction is so much more than a greeting. It's an open door. It's an invitation. So the only real question left is, whose world will you open up next?